Hey friends out there in Storytime world, I am so glad to see you today. You know what? I am inside again today because it's raining again. At least where I live, it's raining. It has been raining so much, so we're going to be reading inside today. And today I have something a little bit different. I have a book that is really an old book. It is in fact 70 years old. That's like probably the age of some of your grandmas. So it's 70 years old. My mom read it when she was a little girl, and then when I was a little girl she read it to me, and then I'm reading it to you now. So it's a book that generations can read. Hey Lucas, thanks for being here today, buddy. So it's an older book. It's called Pantaloon. I'll show it to you here. And that's Pantaloon right there. Pantaloon is a poodle. Now, if you don't know what a poodle is, it's a type of dog, and they usually have really curly hair, and they're very smart. And this poodle in particular is a really good helper, and he loves to bake. And you know what? I think a lot of people have been baking lately, since we're all kind of staying at home more. So I think a lot of people have been, I've seen people baking all sorts of things like pies or pizzas. You can bake bread and cupcakes. And you know what's really fun about baking is if you bake in the kitchen with your mom or dad, you're being a really good helper to them. And so maybe you guys can bake something at home someday together. And Pantaloon is also a really good helper. He loves to bake. So we are going to see what Pantaloon gets into today and how he helps. So let us get started. This is Pantaloon, and again, remember I told you this is a really old book. This is 70 years old, and there's Pantaloon. You can see he's peeking out from the window of the bakery shop. Oof. Look at all those yummy treats in there. Gingerbread men, cakes and pies. Looks so good. All right, let's see. One morning, Pantaloon hopped on his shiny red bicycle and headed straight for the baker's shop. Hey Wyatt, thanks for joining, buddy. Oh my, he said to himself. I never can get enough of those delicious baked and iced things. Now at that moment, the baker, who looked like a jolly round potato, was making a list of things he had to bake that morning. Pies and cakes with strawberry icing, gingerbread men with sugar and spicing, 12 wedding cakes with lots of layers, 9 birthday cakes and chocolate eclairs. Sounds lovely, cried the baker, but I'll never be finished by noon unless I have some help. See, he's putting a sign in the window. So he put a sign in the window that said, "Help wanted." When Pantaloon saw that sign, he fairly flew into the shop. I'm a helper, he said, licking his lips. Oh no, Pantaloon, said the baker. You look to me as if you'd eat more than you bake. He opened the door very wide and said, Goodbye, Pantaloon. Oh, he looks so sad. Then, since he was later than ever, the baker began at once to mix and beat and bake. Before long, another helper came tripping into his shop. This one seemed to be a very nice old lady in a big bonnet, that's a hat, and a blue shawl. I'm a lovely cook, she said, and I never eat between meals. Then you're the helper for me, laughed the baker, so happy that he danced the old lady round and round his shop. Hey, Amanda. But her shawl got caught on the counter, and her bonnet bounced off her head. And this wasn't a nice old lady at all. It's Pantaloon, cried the baker, throwing up his hands. Goodbye, gulped Pantaloon. He leaped on his bicycle and hurried along to the barber shop. But all the time he was being clipped and combed and curled, he was trying to think up a new plan for getting to be a helper in that bakery shop. All he wants to be is a good helper, just like my buddy Jeremy who's watching. He's a really good helper. After a great hustle and bustle, the baker was ready to ice his cakes. He opened his sugar bin, and it was empty right down to the bottom. No sugar? Away he ran in his going-to-market hat. Oh, that's a fancy hat. Then back he came, carrying such a large bag of sugar that he never saw Pantaloon's bicycle, which had somehow rolled right in front of his door. "Woo!" cried the baker, and down he came, sugar and hat and all in a heap. Oh no. When Pantaloon saw what happened, he wanted to hide under the barber's chair, but he ran bravely out and helped the angry, bruised, and bumped baker into his bed. Oh, he's helping. That's so nice. "Don't worry about a thing," he called. Then he mixed the icing, iced the cakes, loaded everything into the baker's truck, and delivered all the cakes and cookies in the nick of time. People were delighted to have their pies, cakes, and cookies brought to them by such a prompt poodle. "Are you the baker's new helper?" they asked. "Maybe I am," grinned Pantaloon happily. But on the way back, he remembered it was his bicycle that had caused all the trouble. "Oh me," he cried, "I'll never dare show my face in the baker's shop again." So he parked the truck and went home. Before long, the baker was back in his shop. He mixed and baked and iced more busily than ever, because now he had more customers than ever. "Why, where's Pantaloon?" they asked. And they said, "How you must miss him." "Well, my goodness," said the baker, very much surprised. "Well, I do miss Pantaloon, and what do you know about that?" In the meantime, Pantaloon was playing his guitar and singing, "What care I for cakes with layers, or gingerbread men, or chocolatey clairs?" He tried on all his hats and pretended each one looked much finer than a baker's tall white hat. But he didn't fool himself one bit. "It's no use," said Pantaloon at last. He still wanted more than anything to be a baker. You know what? My friend Rachel is reading this book with us today, and she is a baker. How about that? Meanwhile, the baker was looking all over town for Pantaloon. Everyone said, "No, I haven't seen him." And the baker went sadly back to his shop. He put on his tall white hat, and suddenly he had such a splendid idea that he grinned a wide grin and began to bake the biggest, roundest, most beautiful cake ever. Now, Pantaloon was in his bathtub scrubbing his back with a long-handled brush, and through the window came the beautiful smell of that beautiful cake. In a wink, Pantaloon was out of his bath. He hurried down the street, holding a big green umbrella in front of him. "This way," he said, "I can see the baker's shop, but the baker can't see me." And he stopped in front of the window. That wonderful shop looked even more wonderful. It was filled with pies and cakes with all kinds of icing, gingerbread men with sugar and spicing, and wedding cakes with lots of layers, and birthday cakes and chocolatey clairs. And right in the very middle of the window, tipped forward so you could read the letters, was a beautiful, big, round cake that said, "Pantaloon, please come back." Look at that. "Here I am," laughed Pantaloon, bursting into the shop. "At last," cried the baker. He put a tall white hat on Pantaloon's head and sliced the cake. Then side by side, the two sat in the window, eating and laughing and chatting away. The two happiest bakers in the whole world. The end. See, Pantaloon was such a good helper. Everybody missed him when he wasn't there, and the baker finally realized that Pantaloon was a good helper in that shop. So, like we talked about earlier, you can always be a good helper in the kitchen with your mommy and daddy if they're baking. You can always ask how you can help them. And so, especially if it's raining, it's fun to have some fun in the kitchen. And you know what? I have a surprise for you guys today. You ready? Because it's raining out. You know, we talked about how yucky it is and it's hard. We can't play outside too much when it's raining. So, have a surprise. Wait right there. umbrella. Do you love it? I know I do. So you know what? I picked a rainbow umbrella when I bought an umbrella because on days when it's really rainy and yucky out and it's kind of gray and gloomy, I love a rainbow umbrella because it brings some more color and some more sunshine, and it reminds me about rainbows, which we usually see at the end of a day when it's been raining a lot. So my special surprise for the day is this. You get another book. Yes, how about that? I have a book just about playing indoor games when it's raining out, and so I thought that would be a perfect book for today. And you get a bonus because I know everybody's been stuck inside and it's rainy and wet, so we are going to read a second book today. This is called Rainy Day Games. And it's all about a little boy who's been stuck inside because it's been raining and raining, and he thinks about being stuck on Noah's Ark and what those animals must have done for all those 40 days and nights when they were stuck on there and it was rainy. So we are going to read this extra bonus book today, and you guys can read with me. Here we go. Let's see. When it's been raining night and day and you don't know what games to play, pretend that Noah's Ark floats by and watch the games that they would try. Hide and seek can be a treat. Chameleons can be tough to beat. Can you even see that chameleon? A chameleon's a lizard. Can you see them? They're so good at hide and seek. They change colors. Look, there he is. There's his tail. To tease your brain on stormy days, you have to try a zebra maze. Look, the mouse are playing maze on the zebra. They've hidden a piece of cheese, and they're going to go all the way through the maze on the zebra to try and find it. Untangle a flamingo knot. A diagram will help a lot. Oh, see, they're trying to figure it out together. Teamwork. It's fun to play ring tosserus. At least it's fun for most of us. Oh boy, does that snake look like he's having fun? A game of ping pong never fails. Beavers choose to use their tails. Double Dutch takes lots of practice. Poison dart frogs jump the fastest. Jacks with yaks can be a blast. And a sloth race winner gets there last. Look at all those slow animals. Blind Mole's Bluff is good for laughs. And Twister's fun with 2 giraffes. A crocodile will make you smile. And soccer's fun. Look at their ball there. For a little while. Oh, it was an armadillo. All balled up. Watch a wallaby jump a hurdle. Play turtle-tack-toe or tic-tac-turtle. See what sticks to a porcupine. Grapes and cherries stick just fine. Try tiddlywinks with a clever minx. Or if you're brave, play Name That Stink. Look at these stinky animals. Skunks and vultures, pigs. Actually, pigs don't stink that bad. A cheetah's back has lots of spots where you can play Connect the Dots. Uh-oh. What a ride it is to slide down the side of an elephant's hide. Whee! Try playing something from our list and think of other games we missed. Or just sit back as clouds go by until God's rainbow paints the sky. Look, there's a little boy waiting inside while it's raining, reading a book just like we are. How about that? All right, so that was your fun bonus book for today. I'm sorry it's been so rainy. I know if you live anywhere near where I live, it's been raining today, and it rained yesterday, and it rained the day before, and it's just been rainy, rainy, rainy. But I hope Maybe you can find something to bake in the kitchen with your mom and dad. Maybe you can think of some really fun games to play inside. You know, it's really fun when it's rainy to build a fort inside. You can build a blanket fort. You can practice coloring and painting. It's always good to read when you're stuck inside, or you can practice crafts. So let's see what you can do on these rainy days. I hope you guys can make some fun at home. Thank you so much for tuning in, parents. Feel free to share with anybody who can just use a reading break. And everybody stay well and keep reading. Bye.